This video is an update on the subject of is sorting your ammo by weight worth the effort. And I did a lot of shooting and a lot of sorting, and the reason why I'm not showing these actually being shot is because there was a wind that day, and it was coming right towards me, right in my face, right behind the target, and I was using those orange sticks that somebody makes. I can't remember the name of them right offhand. Maybe I do have it. Oh yeah, here it is. Let me get this up. The Reversa. They're little rods that look like that. And the problem with them is that they're too thin. And I'm having a set made out of rebar that will work. And once those are done, those are in the process of being fabricated now. And when they're done, I will do a video on that. I beefed them up a lot. The problem with them was, and I've got a little piece of video I'm going to show you on here, that because the wind was coming right at the back of it, they were sitting there doing this, and you couldn't really get a decent sight picture because the bull kept moving up and down. Actually, it was moving this way because when the wind was going this, it brought it closer, so the bull actually looked like it was moving up and down. And you're going to see some evidence of that on the targets. And the video was so blurred that because of the distance away from it on the zoom lens, that you couldn't really see much, and it was very disconcerting anyway. So I'm not going to show the actual video except for a little short piece of it, and you'll be able to see there what's going on. And I don't think there's any what's the word I'm looking for? Any comments on that little piece of video, because I didn't really realize that was happening until after I had finished. And I looked at the video and I says, oh God, I can't use this. So I was going to pitch it. Anyway, I'm going to show you all the targets. There's quite a few. This may be a little bit boring, but it will give you clear and concise evidence that sorting your ammunition is worth it, especially if you're like me, a precision shooter, where that comes into play considerably. Okay, I'm going to stop this, turn the camera around. We'll get on to that part of it. Talk to you in a minute. Okay, this is the first one. This is the CCI standard velocity. This was while the targets were moving around. And I'll bring it back up here to the top so you can see them. The top one you can see is 3.29 in weight. I'll get in a little bit closer now. Whoop, wrong way, yeah, of course. The targets are 1 inch in diameter, the gray section. The red section is a 1/2 inch, and the yellow section, the yellow bowl, is 1/4 inch. And these are at 50 yards. So you can see on some of them, like the middle one, that was when the target was moving around a lot. And so was the next one. They're all, and I had to kind of wait until the wind died down a little bit. You got this one over here that's kind of strange. The rest of them are all pretty much the same. And you go down to the 3.27, and actually this one was because I had changed. I didn't do anything to the rifle as far as cleaning it goes when I was shooting all the same type of ammunition. And I had to make some little adjustments on windage, or not on windage, but just seat of the pants. I didn't change the scope at all. I didn't change the crosshairs or anything. I just kind of did it on my own. And the 3.27 was a little bit different, and I kind of got into it right down here on this one. That one worked pretty well. And then I went to the 3.32, and you can see that some of those are, and like I say, this is the wind doing this, a lot of it. And I would wait until it died down a little bit, and then I would shoot again, and I would say, okay, like on this one here, I said, okay, the wind, this one was really good. And I said, okay, the wind just died down, and I shot 2, and then boom, boom, the wind picked up, and the wind kept going, and then it kind of died down again. So that's what you deal with when you got the wind blowing. Let me back it back out here a little bit. Okay, get rid of that one, and then we'll go to the next CCI standard velocity. Get this down. Here we go. There's its, okay, this is the 3.30 at the top. The wind was still blowing around, you know, and I could say that all of these work this way. And then we went down here to the 3.28, and you can see here the wind was really picking up on some of these. So it was kind of difficult to shoot. And then here the same, here the same. And because the wind was, you know, coming right back, and then it would stop and go, and the target was fluttering back and forth. Let's see if I can kind of simulate what happened. You know, the target would be here, and it would go this way, 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 and it made it kind of difficult. But that's things you have to deal with. Okay. Now the wind kind of died down a little bit, and I was shooting the standard velocity here. Now these are a 1-inch target with a 1/4-inch bull, and a couple of these are my fault, but let me get in a little bit closer on these so you can see them. These are all 1/4-inch bulls with 1-inch diameter, 50 yards, and you can see that there is quite a bit of difference. And this was when the wind died down almost completely, and it made it a little bit easier to shoot. I'll just keep going through these. It's a little bit blurred because I'm in close. Well, there we go. And we just keep going across and down. And you can see that, you know, on these it's not too awful bad. Some of those, like that one there, was me. The one on the left was me. And there's a good shot. And that was me. And that's not bad. And so this was after the wind had died down a little bit. Wrong way again. Okay, that was the standard velocity. And the wind was at 12 miles an hour, by the way. Temperature was about 60 degrees. Then we go to the AR Tactical with the same thing. I had cleaned the rifle, as is I'm wont to do from now on when I do these kind of tests. Had to sight in a little bit because of the difference in the ammunition. There is the first shot. You can tell that it's kind of off. So I made some adjustments on the scope and kind of hit a little bit better. And the wind was blowing still. And you can see that they're kind of all over the place. But after I got those done, and I waited for the wind to die down, and this was like at 9:45 in the morning. And then I came in with the, and that was all at 3.44. And then when the wind died down, I went to 3.33, and it got a little bit better. There you can see some of those shots are mine, some of them are the wind, picked up a little bit. And then after the one that I just showed you, went to the 3.44 again, and that's what we ended up with there. So it's, you know, like I say, it does make a difference when you're you know, trying to shoot for very tight groups. And then we had the Aguila SE. Changed the scope a little bit. The other sight-in target I didn't use. I didn't keep it. I don't know why. It got lost or the wind blew it away. I don't know which. But we have the 3.28, which looks pretty good. And we have the 3.29, which are the only two that I shot on the Aguila SE. So take care of that one. 60 degrees, 50 yards. These are all the same day. So they all had kind of the same thing doing with them. Now here is another one of these, the sight-in target. This is the American Eagle suppressor, which I really liked. I like all these ammunitions that I'm showing on here, because these are the ones that I spent the time really doing. The first one you can see, that's wind, and the others, in fact this one, that's me, and these are all the same way again. These are a 1 inch, gray 1 inch, red 1/2 inch, and yellow 1/4 inch. And I'm just not going to say much, I'll just go through these real quick. But yeah, that one down there is definitely the wind, the one that's in the white, and let that go with that. And then we have the American Eagle suppressor with larger groups. Or more shots in the target. Same thing again here. The actual red and white one is a 1/2 inch, and there is a little black one. You can see part of it down here on this one. Part of the black 1/4 inch bull. And you know, again, it was wind, and some of it's me. I don't remember which is which, but it doesn't really much matter. And I said these are all at 50 yards. And then we go back to the Aguila SE. This is at 330. Show all the targets there. And then we'll get in on them a little bit. And had cleaned the rifle again and shot again. I don't know why I did it this way, but these are all in the order they were shot. These targets are a little bit different. It's a 1/4 inch yellow bull, 3/4 inch red, and 1.5 inches, or 1 1/4 inches. I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1.25 inch big ones. And some of these, we got some decent groups out of it, but still, you know, the one that only has a single one is the clip. The magazine went dry, so that was that. And these are all 3.30 weight. Okay, and then I went in and shot the larger targets at 3.30. See there it's 3.30, and down here at the bottom it says Aguila, 50 yards, 58 degrees. And some of those are a little bit better. Now these have the black bull, and what I tried to do was completely obliterate the black bull. And these are also 3.30. So you can see that I just keep repeating this because to me it's very important. I just keep doing the, what do you want to call it, the sort by weight is really, it's worth the effort if you're like me. If you're not, if you're just plinking and shooting rabbits at 25 or 50 yards, these probably don't make much difference because almost every one of these shots would be a kill shot. Okay, this one up here at the top on the left was my sight-in. And after I got that done, you know, they kind of tightened up a little bit. Some of these are the wind, some of them are me. I don't remember which is which. But they're pretty decent. And of course, again, there's the last one. You have I had 25 round clips, and each one of those targets have three shots in them, except the last one, which is the 25th round, is only a 1 shot. Okay, and that's the Federal Red. And here's the other target for it. Also, I don't remember what weight these were. In any case, and you can see the groups here are a little bit better. Had to make some adjustment, and the wind was picking back up again in some cases. In other cases, it was just fine. Here's one with the wind really picked up, shot way down here. But you never know. And that one is actually 3 shots at the same hole. And there's There's 2 shots right in here. And that pretty well does it. Excuse me. These are all 2 shots. These are all 2 shots, so that wasn't the same hole. Anyway, some of these are 3 shots, some are 2 shots. I'll let that one go. And then I did Gemtech, which is another one that I like. And actually I was shooting these first, if I remember correctly. And the first one up there is my sight-in. Did quite a bit on that one. I don't remember how many. I just shot on these until. And this is the same one again. This is a 1/4-inch bull, 3/4-inch red, and 1 1/4-inch gray. This was a sight-in. Make some little adjustments on them. And like I say, when I was shooting these, the wind was blowing almost all the time. So you can actually see that that stand that I was using was not all that great, because it fluttered all over the place. I went the wrong way. You see that up here at the top, there's some stuff all over the place on there. And they were all that way. And this is, with a 1/2-inch bowl, I should be, without wind, I should be able to do a lot better. Now down here you can really see the fluttering and the results of that. For someone like me, those are terrible, absolutely terrible. And in fact, I've thought about ripping this up, but I figured, no, I need to show this because you can see what the fluttering did. Okay, on to the next one, and this is the last. And we have the same problem here again with the flutter. You see here in the middle one that it's like that. The next one, the wind died down a little, and the flutter just kept on going the whole time. These 2 over here, I was trying to make an adjustment to move it over a little bit, and the wind picked up and it actually threw them way off. The first 3 were okay, then the next 2 were over here because the wind was actually making it move this way instead of this way. So it's just, but it's something you have to deal with. It's just the way it is. Anyway, that pretty well wraps up this, and my final verdict on this is yes. If you want really good tight groups, you need to separate your ammunition by weight and rim. Okay, and I forgot to say that too. I did all these with rim as well. I did the rim first and then the weight after, and I do like 500 rounds of each, so I have enough to actually shoot. And so that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. You learned something from it. It was interesting to some and absolutely deadly boring to others, as I'm sure some of you would think. And that's it. So I'll see you in the next video, and subscribe and make an old man happy. Bye-bye.